So I feel like I need to make a video about the coronavirus situation happening throughout the world. It's obviously now starting to impact the United States and my local community. So this was a topic I didn't really want to talk about that much in the beginning. I didn't want to bring any attention to it because I thought, the more that people start freaking out about this thing, the worse that, people will overreact to it. And I didn't want to be a part of the sort of piling on the fear. So that's why I haven't really said anything. But it seems like at this point there is enough static in the air. You can probably feel it wherever you're living. That people are worried about it. People are concerned about it. And so I feel like I have a responsibility that I do need to say something about the coronavirus and not only just my general thoughts for how to stay safe, how to stay healthy, all that stuff, but also how is it going to impact the TV film licensing business? Because I know many of you guys are wondering, is this going to be the start of a major recession or depression that is going to wipe us all out? I don't believe that's even close to what's going to be happening. I actually think that in many ways, our industry is going to get a nice bump. And I'll explain to you why. I mean, if you can't figure it out, if most people are going to be staying home for the next couple of weeks or months and not really going out as much, well, what do you do when you're home? You watch streaming services, you watch cable, you watch movies, right? And so there's going to be a lot more placements and performances and activity going on for entertainment. People are going to want to be escaping all the insanity going on around them and being entertained and getting lost in these kind of virtual worlds or these different stories that they love, right? So I actually think in the long term, this is actually going to be good for us in terms of our royalties. You're going to see probably a nice bump in your royalties about 12 months from now, okay? I know that there are many productions that have shut down or been postponed because they don't want to have a large group of people together. So yes, there's going to be a little bit of a downturn. There's going to be a little bit of a slowdown for probably some productions and new shows coming on board. But in terms of your royalties and the performances that are going out there, I think right now, if you have music out there circulating, you're going to see that there's going to be a nice benefit for you down the road in about a year when you get those royalties, okay? But more important than obviously the sync licensing business is our health, our safety, our loved ones, all that kind of stuff, okay? So you guys should know by now, if you're young and healthy, maybe I'd say 55, 60 or younger, on the younger side, okay? Just use common sense, wash your hands. I know that hand sanitizer and toilet paper are kind of running out in stores. Just use soap. Soap and water works just fine. If you're going to be moving around, especially in a lot of public places, touching a lot of public surfaces, just be a little bit more conscious, a little bit more thoughtful about washing your hands a little more often than you usually do. Okay. If you can avoid going to large crowded areas indoors, maybe avoid that if you don't have to. If you know somebody that's 60 or over and they have a compromised, health situation, or just because they are in that older demographic, they might have a little bit of a weaker immune system. Maybe, and you're younger than 60, maybe offer to go do some shopping for them. Get them some food that'll get them through a couple of weeks, to make sure that they don't have to go to those very crowded areas. So this is going to be a time where we kind of pull together. We do favors for each other. We help each other. But most importantly, the important thing I want you guys to take from this is that we become leaders in our communities, okay? And the big thing that I want to say to all of you guys is it's going to be okay. We're going to get through this thing. It's actually going to work out just fine, okay? And I'm not just saying that just to say something to make people feel better. I 100% believe that. I don't think, I have people that are emailing me, is this the apocalypse? Is it all coming down? No, it's scary. I understand because you can see the fear in people's eyes. You can see the lines starting at grocery stores, and you can see the kind of thing. Is just seeing empty shelves sometimes just it puts that sort of sense of adrenaline into people. So I'm not trying to diminish how you guys are feeling, or some of you might be feeling about this. I understand all that, but we're going to get through it. Okay. This is not the end of the world. This is a very small thing in comparison to what humanity has had to get through in the past in history. Okay. So I actually see this in many ways as an opportunity because I think there's going to be a lot of buying opportunities, not panic buying and not panic selling, nothing like that. But if you're looking for investments and things like that, there might be some sales. I'm not going to give you guys financial advice, but there are some sales going on right now on some very valuable assets that I'm looking at. And so I'm seeing this as a potential big opportunity for myself. But obviously I want to make sure that you guys are aware that I'm confident we're going to get through this, okay? And I want those of you that are watching this and you also have that confidence and you feel that, to convey that to the people around you. I think the big thing with this whole situation is not the virus itself. That's not really what I'm too concerned about with. It's actually more the psychological reality and the overreaction that people might be having. It's really more people that I'm concerned of rather than the virus. Okay. So, and I think a lot of this comes down to your psychological state of being. If you're always just like, oh my gosh, it's terrible, it's coming, the world's coming to an end, and you're just stuck in that fear zone, you're going to make a lot of dumb mistakes, a lot of poor decisions, a lot of panic things, and things you'll regret doing later. And so, if you are a little bit above the fray right now and you're feeling that, then you should take it upon yourself to be a leader in your community, in your family, in your co-working environment, in your home, wherever you feel that you have people that you can influence because you have a relationship with them. Be a leader. And what do you have to do? All you got to do is tell them, I understand it's scary. I understand people are looking really kind of concerned. We're going to get through this. It's going to be all right. It's a temporary setback, but we're going to bounce back very quickly. Okay. This is what we need to do. And if you don't feel that, then hopefully this video gives you a little bit of reassurance that I'm not panicking over all this kind of stuff. I do like to be prepared. I do like to have a little bit of extra food and water on hand just in case. I don't think that's a stupid thing to do, but panicking is not going to help anybody. And it's not what I recommend for anybody to start doing. It's not going to do you any good. Okay. So let's try to be leaders in our communities. Let's try to give a little bit of a reassurance to those around us, especially those that we have relationships with, and let them know it's going to be okay. We're going to get through this. Let's pull together. Let's stick together. I actually think in the end, this is going to be a very positive thing for us, especially here in the United States. Around the world, there's different situations, but in the US, we have a very divided population politically, obviously, as many of you guys know from the last election. And that divide has really not healed or come together at all. In fact, it's probably been drifting apart further and further since that election. I do see this as, unfortunately, this is what happens when you have these large, whatever you want to call them, just large events that are scary to a lot of people. It brings people together because immediately you start thinking, what were you disagreeing about yesterday? That's not really important today. Today, let's stick together. Let's make sure we're looking out for each other. Let's make sure they're being safe or being smart, right? So I think in many ways, this is going to be a good thing for our country because at the end of all of this, we're going to be a little bit closer, a little bit more empathetic, a little bit more able to, kind of communicate with those of us that maybe before we were very much in a disagreement with, and we just never saw ourselves ever communicating with people. They were like, oh my gosh, how could you have that opinion or have those beliefs? Maybe now, even though this is not going to be some, zombie apocalypse, it'll be, a reality check enough for enough people that it will sort of make sure that we have our priorities in line, right? And your political opinions right now are not the priority, and your disagreements about that are not the priority. We have something else that we can actually be focused on. Okay, so I think it's actually going to be a good thing in the long run. A couple of common sense things. So what you can do if you don't want to feel like completely helpless, I got to be able to do something, right? Common sense, just immune boosting methods that I do, and you can do this as well. Take some vitamin C, you can take some zinc, echinacea, right? These are just supplements that you can take. Getting some walk in sunshine, going to, in your neighborhood or wherever you are, going to a park and just being outdoors, getting some vitamin D on your skin for 30 minutes, 45 minutes a day. Really good thing for your immune system, okay? Definitely getting enough sleep, probably the most important thing that you guys can do, okay? If you're only getting 4 or 5 hours of sleep right now, try to make sleep a little bit more of a priority, right? Maybe try to go to bed a little earlier, give yourself a little bit more time to sleep in. I always try to shoot for 8 hours. Sometimes it's a little less, sometimes it could be even a little bit more, but I always try to make sure that I'm in bed the same time every night. And I try to wake up around the same time every day. So really prioritize your sleep. That's one of the best things you can possibly do. Maybe some minimal exercise, some light weights or some push-ups or something like that. You may or may not want to avoid the gym because the gym is obviously a place where large groups of people are getting together and sweating. And, if you're going to go, just make sure you do a little wipe down. They have disinfectant stuff at the gym. Just do a little wipe down before you're going to use equipment. Again, this is common sense stuff, guys. This is not, oh my gosh, you have to do this magical thing. It's just take a little extra step in terms of just protecting yourself from the germs of other people around you, okay? Psychologically, it's important to try to stay above the noise. Meditate a bit if you want, do some yoga, do some stretching, take about 30 minutes a day and just try to be calm, cool, collected. Take deep breaths, just really feel yourself being present in the moment. Trying to reduce your stress in any way that really works for you is going to be very, very important for your immune system. Keep yourself healthy and just keep your mental state in the right place. And you're going to need to do this to be a leader in your community, okay? You can't lead anybody or be reassuring to anybody if you're stressed out and you're not eating well and you're not sleeping at all, you're not meditating. So take care of yourself. It's another positive thing that'll happen out of all this because everybody's so focused on their health and immunity and protecting themselves from germs. Most people are actually going to feel better in this time of, kind of crisis, whatever you want to call it, because they're actually now focused and more conscious of their health and making better choices for themselves. So another, I think, positive thing that'll be like sort of a byproduct of this thing that's happening right now, which is kind of cool. Okay. Um, I think that's all I wanted to say to you guys. There's going to be a double-edged sword for our industry, as I mentioned before, but I would say this is not going to be something that lasts for years and years and years. At the most, I see this lasting up until the summer, middle of the summer, I think at tops. I don't think this is going to be something that lasts us up until the end of the year. I think that at least here in the U.S., I can say that our government and things that we're doing now are very preventative, and I think that we have taken steps early enough on to try to really slow down the spread of this thing and to really kind of get it under control, and to get those resources in the right places where they need to get to. Obviously, different countries are in different situations, so wherever you are, obviously listen to your local officials. Try to get the best educated updates that you possibly can from what's going on in your current area. And again, calm, cool, collected. That's really the name of the game. Panicking is not going to help you at all. So even if you feel fear, fake it. Pretend like you don't feel the fear. I'm just telling you, because just being panicked and being in that state of mind is not going to help you. Okay, so try to be the leader. Try to rise above the noise. Be proactive. Take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones. I don't know if I already mentioned this in this video, but if you do know somebody that's 60 and older, and you can do, I did mention this, but I want to mention it again. If you are concerned about them, by just being in contact with a lot of people, try to do some of their shopping or some of their errands for them. If you're a little bit younger and you've got a little bit more of a vibrant, immune system, that's a really nice thing for you to do for your parents or somebody that that you don't want to have in that sort of a compromised situation. Okay. So that's it, guys. I wish you guys all the best. Stay cool, stay calm, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive, stay optimistic. I know we're going to get through this and everything's going to be just fine. So let's just get through this together.